Family and Consumer Science.
Mr.Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table, this ain't a horse game.
Hello, everybody. This is Mr. G. Welcome to Family and Consumer Science Television. Today, we're going to talk about manners. Manners. The dictionary kind of defines manners as your outward appearance to others or the way you act in a social situation. So, there's a lot of different things we could talk about manners. But you know what? I found a really awesome song about manners. And I think what I want you guys to do, my students, I want you to take out a piece of paper. People at home that might want to do this, you could also take out a piece of paper and play along at home. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to write down the lyrics to the song called Manners. Okay? My students, this will be number 1, which I want you to put down if you're watching this. So, without further ado, this song is called Manners. We're going to play it twice for you. I think it's twice on the actual recording. Excellent song called Manners. And remember, write down the lyrics. And here we go.
Back straight, never bow over your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table. This ain't no horse stable, but a respectable dining room table. Because you gotta have manners. You gotta have manners.
And pointing is not a good manners either.
To be by my side.
Here we go.
Because you gotta have manners.
Gotta have manners. Gotta have manners.
You gotta have manners.
Oh, you gotta have manners.
To be by my side.
Okay, here we go. Now write it down. Here we go.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow over your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table. This ain't no horse stable, but a respectable dining room table. Because you gotta have manners. You gotta have manners. To be by my side. Because you gotta have manners. You gotta have manners. To be by my side.
Wow, what a song. What a song. Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow over your plate. There's nothing worse if you're eating near somebody and they're bowing over their plate, shoveling in their food, mouth open. No. You got to present yourself in a excellent, nice way so people around you will enjoy your company. Okay? So you got to have manners. You got to get those elbows. I mean, if you're sitting there like this, that's okay. But if you're going to be eating, you don't want to be sitting like this, bowed over the plate. Terrible. Nothing like good manners, ladies and gentlemen. Good manners. You know what goes along with manners as well? Is place settings. So this would be number 2 on your paper. Number 1 will be lyrics to the manners song. Number 2 is going to be guess which place setting, and this is a standard place setting, is correct. So what I'm going to do is give my great Kyle producer a little shot of where we're going to put the place settings. Okay, will this work? Oh, great one.
Go to the flow.
Okay, so this is possibility number 1 of a basic plate setting. Is this true? Yes or no? I'm going to take the fork. I'm going to put it on the left side of the plate. And this is called a knuckle. Your thumb knuckle right here, if you put that onto the table and your knuckle of your thumb pushed down like that, you can take the fork and put it right on the tip of that, and that will give you the space between the table and the end of the fork. Then we're going to move over, and we're going to put the plate the same way, with the thumb, my knuckle of my thumb, to the bottom of the plate, leaving the same space here in the back. Then, number 1 would be the spoon, like that. And then the fork ridges facing out, like that. That is possibility number 1, place setting. What do you think? Kyle, do you think this is a correct place setting? Oh, wait a minute. Cup. I would put the cup here, with the spoon pointing to the cup. Your thoughts, Kyle, yes or no?
That is incorrect.
That is incorrect. Okay, interesting thought. That's Kyle's guess. Kyle's usually 75% of the time, he's usually right on it. But your choice. Choice number 1. Number 1. Choice number 2. We're going to put the spoon on the left-hand side of the plate. The knuckle, of course, there. And then a knuckle space there. And then a knuckle to the plate. Fork to the there. Knife. Ridges facing in. And like that. That looks beautiful with the fork over there. Number 2, Kyle, your thoughts?
That is also incorrect.
Oh, interesting. You should think for that. I don't really know if I agree with you, but I find that an interesting guess, Kyle, and thank you. Possibility number 3. We are going to put now the fork on the left side. The knuckle of right there, and then the fork there, and then a space, and then the plate will go here, and then a space with the knife, with the ridges facing the plate, then the spoon, and then the cup with the knife facing the cup. Possibility number 3. Kyle, your thoughts?
That is the right one, Mr. G.
Are you sure, Kyle?
I am positive.
I don't want you to persuade any of my students or anybody watching, but this is what you thought about this?
You always got to keep the knife inward towards the plate.
Interesting. Okay. And now a little drum roll, and we will put up before that, guys. Let's draw which way you think is correct. Okay? And there's many different options. Option 1, option 2, option 3. Does everybody have their things set up the way they are? And I'm going to count backwards to 5. And if the great Kyle will put the correct one up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So option 3 was correct, where we have the fork, plate, knife with the ridge facing in, spoon, and then the water glass facing that, the knife facing that cup. This is called a basic place setting. Some place settings can get pretty extravagant, up to 5, 10, 15 pieces of silverware. But this is the basic silverware. Because you know why, Kyle? You gotta have manners. Okay, cut it. Good job. All right, so there we go. We're rocking and rolling, strumming and strolling. Now we're going to play a famous game called Lightning Round. Put question now number 3. Question number 3. Question number 1 was lyrics of the song. Question number 2 was which way is a basic place setting. Question number 3. I am going to say a word or a phrase, and you will write down the definition. Okay, here we go. Word or phrase number 1. Mise en place. Number 2. Paillard. Paillard. Number 3. Caramelize. Caramelize. Number 4. Saute. Number 5. Bechamel. Now, a bechamel is a sauce. Well, what kind of sauce are we looking for in a bechamel? What's its primary makeup of the bechamel? And then we have the espagnole sauce, espagnole or espagnole, hollandaise sauce, velouté, and tomato. Now, those are the 5 mother sauces, or the basic sauces that you start out with that make up hundreds and hundreds of different sauces. But you need the base before you can start. Okay, so those are the 5 mother sauces. Please put down what each mother sauce does. If you don't know it, at the end of this video, before you hand it in to Mr. G, please look up in one of your electronic devices the answers, perhaps. So you might even know them or discuss it with your classmates or people around you. Next one. What is a roux? What is a roux? Now, I know, I'll give you, a roux is the equal amounts of butter melted in flour used to do what with your sauces? Thin them out or thicken up a sauce. What are the 3 basic ingredients you need for a dredging station, also known as a dredging station, also known as a coating station or a breading station? Okay, what are the 3 things that you need as you're dipping? 3 things that you dip in. I'll give you a hint. The first thing is sticky. The next thing is, the first thing is all white and powdery and floury, flour. Then you dip it into a piece of chicken into the egg. And then you dip the egg into breadcrumbs. Look, I just gave you the answer. That's a dredging station. Moving on. 15 to 30 seconds. What do you do for 15 and 30 seconds before you start cooking? What is the definition of cross-contamination? It carries one thing over from another. Okay? I'll give you a hint. Okay? If I'm sitting here and I have my stuff here, and I'm serving this to somebody, I certainly don't want to go like this, touch his plate. I'm a pretty clean, sanitary person, but you're living germs on you. So I'm crossing over any germs here. I touch this fork and give this, it looks clean, but now it has all my germs crossed over. Cross-contamination. What is a calorie? A calorie. What is the definition of clean? Now, clean is visually clear. So if that is the situation, what would definition of sanitary? The next step from clean is sanitary or free of, Kyle, free of?
Bacteria or germs?
Or germs. Excellent. Very good. What is a calorie? What is a calorie? What is
a unit of energy?
A unit of energy that you measure food with. Excellent, Kyle. Would you like to go on? Help our class out?
I don't know if I know all of them.
Now, if a calorie is a measurement, what's an empty calorie? What do you think an empty calorie does? It's a calorie that has no energy or nutritional value. A candy bar, very little nutritional value, still has some calories, but not good calories, not healthy calories.
I love Snickers.
I love Snickers too. Do you think there's any good calories in a Snickers?
There's got to be some
protein
from the peanuts.
Sure, a lot of sugars though, and sugars is an empty calorie. But I did have a Snickers bar today, I must say, and it was quite delicious, but full of empty calories. If you turn on your oven and you turn it on to broil, where is the heat coming from? The top or the bottom?
The top.
Very good. Bake. If you put your oven on
From the bottom?
on the bottom. Very good, Kyle. Kyle's helping you guys out. He's doing a great job. But Kyle, what's a julienne in this class? What's a julienne? It has to do with vegetables. If I say this vegetable is a julienne what is that? What's the dimensions of a julienne?
I have no help here.
If you said 3 inches long by about 1/4 of an inch in thickness, a nice thin strip, those are juliennes. Now, FBI, not Federal Bureau of Investigation, but how does that relate to culinary FBI? Food, borne, illness. What does that mean exactly? It means that in the air there are natural bacteria and germs. If that bacteria lands on something, it starts to grow. A good way to see that, if you put a piece of bread out on the table or a piece of cheese, in a little bit of time, the cheese will start crusting up at the top. The bread will turn blue in a couple hours, and that's just the bacteria landing on something, food-borne illness. Okay? All right. 2 hours. 2 hours. What does 2 hours have to do with cooking? In food holding. 2 hours. 2 hours. Is 2 hours good or bad? What does it have to do with storage of food? 2 hours. I'll give you a hint. If you're outside, 90-degree day, got some macaroni salad or some cheese out in the heat, in 2 hours, that food's going to have a lot of bacteria. So 2 hours is the basic rough idea of how long food can sit out in what's known as the food danger zone. That's your next definition to write down. Food danger zone. And the food danger zone is where food goes bad quickly, such as 41 degrees and above, out of the refrigerator. Can food go bad in a refrigerator? Absolutely. It just takes longer. Okay? So if you're in the food danger zone, your food is above 40 degrees, and that's at that 2 hour window of possibility of a foodborne illness. All right. It's number time. Kyle, you know how much I love numbers. It's number time. I'm going to give you a number. You tell me how it relates to cooking. One of my favorite numbers, 165 degrees internal temperature. What does that mean?
What the minimum temperature should be cooked?
Yes, Kyle, you are right on it today. I'm very proud of you. The next one, 190 degrees. The next one, 212 degrees. The next one, if you can remember back when we made bread, it also has to do with dishes, 110 degrees. The next one, 32 to 40 degrees. What holding, oh, it's a refrigerator. Oh, sorry, Kyle. Sorry. I hit the mic. It probably sent him flying. Sorry. 32 to 40. Write that down. What is that the range of? What piece of equipment in your house should be between 32 and 40 degrees? And now it's time to look at the gallon, man. The gallon. How many ounces are in a gallon? Kyle? Write that down, ladies and gentlemen. How many ounces are in a gallon? Oh, boy. How many pints, how many quarts are in a gallon? How many pints are in a gallon? And finally, how many cups are in a gallon? Woo! Wow! That's a lot of information to absorb. But you know what? I bet you can know these answers. I bet you're going to look them up and put them on here. I bet you're just saying, Mr. G, we're having such a great time. Why don't you take a break and come right back? I'll do that. We'll be right back to the Family Consumer Science Show right after we play the intro music, and we'll come right back after I get a drink. Here we go.
Family and Consumer Science.
Mr. Greenland's podcast.
Let's learn facts.
Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow to your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get your elbows off the table, this ain't a horse game.
Okay, Mr. G, Family Consumer Science Television. All right, so we may or may not have gone through our mini cooking or Iron Chef competition, which we do every semester. We've been talking about it. You may watch this before, during, or after we've done the competition. But what I want you to write down for your bonus question is, if you were to open up any restaurant that you wanted to open up, what would be the name of the restaurant and what would be the theme of the restaurant? Now, you could use the one that you did for the Iron Chef competition. And if we haven't got to that Iron Chef competition quite yet, just kind of think, if I was going to open up a restaurant, had that opportunity, what would be its name? There's no right or wrong answer. I think mine would be Mr. G's Steakhouse. And my theme would be excellent steak, reasonable price. Or we could go in the other direction. Mr. G's Organic Vegetable Bistro. Garden grown, fresh from the farm, veggies. Made so delicious you think you're not just eating all veggies. Well, you know what I'm saying though? We also had one that was called Batters Up, if I remember, one of my favorites from years past, where they had a picture of somebody swinging a baseball, a batter, and the batter had to do with breakfast, so Batters Up, huh? Okay. Well, I think we're all done with your questions, and I want to leave you with a little story. Oh, I know what you're saying. Oh, God, not a Mr. G story. Yes, here's a Mr. G story. And this is about expectations versus reality. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I had to get my car jumped because I thought I had a dead battery. Got my car jumped, made it home okay. As I was driving home, the light came on and said, accessory charging issue. And I said, must be, just needs to be reset after my jump. So I reset it. Didn't think anything of it. Things are going fine. 2 days later, I'm driving down Golfstown Road. The people that passed me didn't stop to see how I was on a cold morning, and the car clicked right out. Well, the expectations were going to be, boy, I'm going to call up AAA, and just like on their commercials, a friendly gentleman will come to my door, or woman will come to my car in what could probably be considered moments. 15 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour. Oh my God. And and everything's gonna be wonderful. Well, I sat there for 15 minutes after I called AAA. Nothing. Half an hour passed. Nothing. Now I'm starting to get a little chilly. Okay? An hour passes. Nothing. So I call back AAA back up. And I get a young lady, and she's like, I told her my story, and she said, oh, it's going to be another 45 minutes. I said, okay, I'm an understanding guy. 45 minutes passed. Now I'm starting to chatter and chatter a little bit. So I decided to call my wife up, and she happened to be available to come where I was, and she sat in my car, thank goodness, and warmed me up. I was beginning to freeze. Unlike the commercials where I saw that wasn't the case. So I called the lady back up and I said, excuse me, AAA representative, where is everybody? It's been 2 hours. It's going to be another half an hour, 45 minutes. And I said to her, where are you calling me from? She said, North Carolina. And I said, well, it might be warm in North Carolina, but it's cold where I am. What is the matter with you guys? The reality is now setting in. 3 hours later, AAA shows up. Now, I don't blame the tow truck driver. I'm blaming AAA. And now I got the thing at my home, redo AAA for $100. I mean, 3 hours? 3 hours? Have you ever had a good AAA experience, Kyle?
No.
You ever used them before?
Yes and no.
And did they show up pretty quick?
If you're in a populated area.
I was in Golfstown Road. That's pretty populated. Anyways, I went home. I needed an alternator. $500 later. The good people at Speedy Lou put in that alternator. Things have been going good.